There's a peculiar breed of insanity that has infected our modern world, and I saw a perfect example of it just the other day. I was driving on the freeway, quite legally I assure you, with both hands on the wheel, when I glanced over at the car in the fast lane next to me. The man behind the wheel was, I kid you not, shaving his face with a razor in one hand, gripping a steaming cup of coffee between his knees, and had a newspaper spread across the steering wheel. For a split second, I was impressed. I thought, look at this titan of industry. Look at this efficiency. But then the realization hit me like a cold wave. That man wasn't a titan. He was a warning sign. He is the poster child for the epidemic of the scattered mind. And if we're being honest with ourselves this evening, most of us are in that car with him. Welcome back to the chair. We live in a society that worships at the altar of busy. We wear our exhaustion like a badge of honor. If someone asks us how we are, the default answer is no longer I'm well, but I'm swamped. I'm slammed. I'm juggling a million things. We look at that man in the fast lane and we see a reflection of our own lives. We have cordless phones, wireless earbuds, smartwatches that buzz on our wrists. These devices were sold to us with the promise of making our lives easier, of freeing up time. But in reality they've done the opposite. They've made us permanently available, permanently interruptible, and permanently confused. I was at a friend's home for dinner a while ago, a lovely couple we hadn't seen in months. And I watched our host, a brilliant woman, a mother, a professional, try to do it all. She was on the phone with a client, gesturing wildly for us to come in. While still on the phone, she used her free hand to wave at a pizza delivery guy at the door. Mid-sentence, she dashed to the kitchen to check a pot that was boiling over. And then, because the baby was crying, she swooped in, balanced the phone on her shoulder, and began changing her daughter's diaper. She was everywhere and nowhere all at once. Now, to her credit, she paused the conversation to wash her hands first. Basic hygiene remains intact. But the scene was a perfect metaphor for the age we live in. She was performing the tasks of life, but she wasn't living them. This isn't a critique of her. It's a critique of a culture that has convinced us that this chaos is a virtue. We do it at work, responding to emails while sitting in a meeting, our minds half on the budget and half on the weekend. We do it at home, scrolling through our phones while our children try to tell us about their day, offering them only the top of our head and a series of distracted memes. And in doing so we commit a grave sin against ourselves. We rob the present moment of its power. When you are doing one thing and thinking about another, you are not living in reality. You are living in a fantasy. You are missing the texture of your own existence. Think about it. If you are washing the dishes, but your mind is replaying an argument you had this morning, are you washing dishes? No. You are marinating in anger while mechanically moving a sponge. The dishes get clean, but your soul gets dirtier. The Stoics, those old philosophers from Greece and Rome, had a word for this. They called it Prosochê. It's a Greek term that means attention or focus. For them it was the foundational spiritual attitude. It was the vigilant continuous attention to one's own impressions, actions, and the events happening in the present moment. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and perhaps the most famous Stoic, wrote in his Meditations these words: "Concentrate every minute like a Roman, like a man, on doing what's in front of you with precise and genuine seriousness, tenderly, willingly, with justice, and on freeing yourself from all other distractions." He wasn't talking about just being efficient at work. He was talking about the very substance of a life well lived. The article I read that inspired this conversation, the one about the shaving man, said that when we multitask we lose out on the potential enjoyment of what we are doing. And this is the great secret that the hustlers and the productivity gurus never tell you. They want you to optimize your life so you can get more done, so you can get to the happiness later. But what if the happiness isn't later? What if the happiness is in the doing? Let me propose a simple, radical, and deeply counter-cultural exercise. Block out periods of time where you commit to doing only one thing. I'm not asking you to move to a monastery in Tibet. I'm asking you to try this for 15 minutes tomorrow. Pick a task. Any task. Washing dishes. Weeding the garden. Reading a physical book. Talking to your spouse without looking at a screen. And when you do it, focus only on that one thing. Be present. When I first tried this, I noticed two things beginning to happen. And I want you to listen carefully because this is the payoff. The first thing, I actually started to enjoy what I was doing, even the mundane stuff. There is a reason why people pay good money for float tanks and meditation retreats. They are trying to buy their way back to focus. But you can get it for free in your kitchen. When you're focused rather than distracted, you become absorbed. The warm water on your hands, the scent of the soap, the satisfying finality of a clean plate placed in the rack. It becomes a ritual, not a chore. Suddenly cleaning out a closet isn't a punishment. It's an act of curation. The second thing was a surprise. I got things done faster. Much faster. When you stop task switching, you eliminate what scientists call the startup cost. Every time you glance at your phone while writing an email, it takes your brain 23 minutes on average to get back to the same level of deep focus. 23 minutes. Think about that the next time you reach for your phone. Since I've become more present moment-oriented, my skills have increased in virtually all areas. My writing is sharper because I'm not interrupted. My reading retention has skyrocketed because I'm not thinking about what's for dinner. Even my phone calls are shorter and more effective because I'm actually listening, not just waiting for the other person to stop talking so I can speak. You can do the same thing. It all starts with a single decision. The decision to reclaim your attention from the clutches of the digital world and the chaos of your own making. The article said it perfectly. First, you'll actually enjoy what you are doing. Second, you'll be amazed at how quickly and efficiently you'll get things done. 2 gifts from one simple change. So how do we apply this? How do we become like a Roman, concentrating on what's in front of us? It requires a shift in identity. You must stop seeing yourself as a multitasker. That is not a compliment. In the ancient world, it would be seen as a sign of a weak, untrained mind. A mind that lacks prosochê. Start small. When you drive, just drive. Feel the wheel in your hands. Notice the sky. Don't turn the radio on. Don't make a phone call. See how that feels. It might feel uncomfortable at first. We are so addicted to stimulation that silence feels like a withdrawal symptom. When you are with your child, be with your child. Put the phone in the other room. Don't just be a body in their presence. Be a mind. Be a heart. Listen to their stories. These are the moments that in 10 years you will realize you were supposed to be enjoying. And when you are working, work with a fierce, disciplined focus. Close the tabs. Put the phone in a drawer. Give the task the respect of your full attention. The shaving man on the freeway might have saved 30 seconds by combining his morning routine with his commute. But at what cost? He sacrificed his safety, his peace of mind, and the simple pleasure of starting his day with intention. Don't be the shaving man. Don't live your life in the fast lane, trying to do it all and ending up experiencing none of it. The goal isn't to do more. The goal is to be more present for what you are already doing. Because when you do that, time slows down. Life gains texture. And you move through the world not with frantic energy, but with a calm, powerful sense of purpose. You become like the eye of the storm. The world around you may spin and shout for your attention, but you remain centered, focused, and still. Imagine walking through your day like that. Unshaken. Undistracted. Fully alive to every moment. That is not a fantasy. That is a choice available to you right now, starting with your very next breath. I challenge you this week. Pick one activity each day. Just one. And give it the gift of your full, undivided attention. Tomorrow morning when you drink your coffee, just drink your coffee. No phone. No news. No email. Just you and the warmth of the cup and the quiet of the morning. The next day choose something else. A conversation. A walk. A meal. And notice how it changes you. Notice how the quality of your presence changes the quality of your life. This is not about perfection. You will get distracted. Your mind will wander. That's fine. The practice is simply to notice when it happens and gently bring it back. Like training a puppy. With patience and kindness. Over time the muscle of attention grows stronger. And what once felt impossible, being fully present, becomes your natural state. The ancient philosophers knew this. The modern wisdom confirms it. And now you have the chance to live it. If this message resonated with you, if it made you think differently even for a moment, then consider subscribing to this channel. Not because I need the numbers, but because you need the reminder. We live in a world that constantly pulls us away from ourselves. A world that profits from our distraction. And in that world we need anchors. We need voices that call us back to what matters. That is what this space is for. We are building something rare here. A community of people who choose to control their minds rather than being controlled by the world. People who understand that the deepest riches are not found in doing more, but in being more present for what they already have. Whether you've watched one video or all 10, you are part of that community now. The question is, what will you do with what you've heard? The shaving man is still out there on the freeway. But you don't have to be. Thank you for lending me your ears and more importantly your focus. Now go live today like a Roman. One thing at a time. Fully present. Fully alive. I'll see you in the next one.